Hi, I'm Dr. Asha Priyanka, your public health dentist, and today's topic is financial aspects of a dental practice. Now, in the previous topic, we've learned what it takes to open a clinic, but how does a clinic earn, how does it spend, and how does it survive? It's something we learned today. So you open your clinic one day, patients start coming in. Now the question here is, am I actually making money or am I just running the clinic? So how does a clinic earn? What incomes can you get from a clinic? Think very simply, where is the money coming from? So your real sources are first your patients who pay you directly. So let's say like for a filling, you're paid 1,500, for an RCT, you're paid 5,000, whatever. Okay, so your patients are your first source of income. Next is the insurance or the government scheme. So patients who don't pay fully, who pay through insurance, the company or the government will pay you. That's another source of income for you. Then there is membership plans, like the patient pays you yearly and gets checkups. A lot of chain clinics who have a lot of branches have these kind of yearly plans. And then there is also corporate tie-ups where companies send their employees to you. So income will come in different streams and not just patients. Now, where does your money go? What are your expenses? This is where most dentists will struggle. So please hear this out for me. So you have your everyday expenses like the salaries, the materials, like your gloves, cement, everything, the electricity, water, and then you have internet, everything that you use daily in the clinic. Plus you have some hidden ones like your marketing, Instagram ads, everything. And you have equipment servicing, you'll have to give your equipment for servicing now and then. And then you have to pay for biomedical waste management also. And realization comes in that money will come but also goes continuously. Then come your big investments like your starting costs. When you started the clinic, you spent a lot of money on that dental chair, that perfect dental chair, that portable, amazing RVG X-ray, and those amazing interiors and super duper furniture. All of this is called your fixed cost or one-time investment. So you must have taken a loan out or you must have used your savings for this. And then you have your daily running costs. Like if no patient will come, you still have to pay rent and salary. So this is recurring costs. The clinic must earn daily to survive is something you'll understand the moment you step in to the dental clinic. So the real truth about profit, listen up. Profit is income minus your expenses. Say your situation is such that you had earned 1,000 rupees, you spent 800 rupees, then your profit is 200 rupees. But sometimes in some months especially, you earn 1,000 rupees, you spend 1,200 rupees, you are at a loss. So that's why planning matters. You need to reinvest. This is called smart growth. When a clinic starts doing well, you don't just take the money home. You have to think, how can I improve my clinic? You have to make real proper upgrades, like you have to give better equipments, better interiors, digital systems to run the show without your involvement. This helps more patients come in. This helps better your practice. Then there's a concept of insurance and risk protection. So in reality, things can go wrong. For example, a patient can file a complaint. Some equipment might break. There might be a fire or a theft in your clinic. So you have to take professional indemnity insurance or equipment insurance. Basically, you have to protect yourself financially. And to do all this, a lot of us takes loans and pay an EMI for it. So most clinics won't start with full cash. You take out a bank loan, you start EMI payment. So every month you have fixed EMI that goes. That adds a lot of pressure to earn as well. So will you be in that space where you are like, okay, if it takes say 1 lakh for maintaining my clinic, including all costs, recurring costs, fixed costs, everything, are you gonna fall and end up in that rut of monthly expenses? or are you going to properly plan and brand yourself in such a way and plan your expenses in such a way that you have a corpus ready for you, you have a system going that next 6 months also, if I don't earn anything, my clinic will run and I can focus on the clinic growth and not this 1 lakh rent payment, staff maintenance. Okay, so that's the level of planning it should be when you open a clinic. Otherwise, don't. You're going to struggle. Also, there are some other things to consider, like credit system for the patients. These days, a lot of patients feel that advanced dental procedures are expensive to give in one shot. So can you tie up and provide EMIs for them? Can you give third-party finance support for them? It's something you should really consider. And there's another aspect, which is taxation. GST compliance for the materials that you use, professional tax, income tax filing for what you're earning. All these things also need consideration. Now, all this talk about money and equipment and everything will bring you to a good, important question. How do I charge? How do I charge my patients, or how do I charge my procedure? You think about the cost of the material. You also think about the time taken. You think about your skill, the area you've chosen. If it's too low, you will get a loss. If it's too high, patients are not going to come. So again, balance is the key. Now, you might think, I have told you this many things. So what makes a good clinic versus a struggling clinic? It is money management. It's all that makes the difference. Running a business is not, or I should first say that running a clinic is not just servicing people, it is running a business. Keep that in mind. We are not taught this in college as such. So we are taught that this is a noble profession. We are not taught how to run the business. You need to understand, and the easy way, not the hard way, after you open your clinic, I want you to understand now itself that it is not dependent just on your clinical skill. No, that's only a single part of the whole game here. It's very much dependent on your budgeting skills, on how you track the income and how you control your expenses. You need to at all times know, where is my money going? So in real life, the flow should go something like this. You earn money, you spend money, you save some, you reinvest some, and you protect yourself from risks. Now, like I said, our formal education doesn't teach us this, but get it into your heads that clinic is not just about servicing the patients. It's a business system, and like any good business, you have to do well, you have to continue that service as well. And a dental practice will survive only when income is controlled, when the expenses are managed well, and growth is already planned out. Now, what has all this got to do with public health dentistry, you might ask? Financially strong dental practices can, in return, support outreach. In my understanding, this is something I rate personally. In the book, in the Mind Map book, wherever you see public health significance, it's something that I have summarized and written personally, as I felt like that is the key link to the topic. So key linkages in the topic, and that's why I've written it. So in my opinion, so basically it's my opinions. So in my opinion, if you are financially strong and happy in your clinic as a single practitioner, even though you're not a public health dentist, you will have that space or that freedom to reach out to schools, to reach out to the underserved population, or just in a small way. If a low income person comes to your clinic and you understand this, if you're doing well for yourself, you will have that sort of like mind, like you'll have that mind in you that maybe you can give a little discount, an extra discount to this person and to their family or to this kid, and do their treatment. Maybe do it for free also, just so that you can help them, bring awareness to the situation. And all this will come from when you have abundance from within. Like when you are abundant in your practice, you'll have that mindset, you'll get that mindset. So that's what I want you to inculcate, and that's the public health importance I'm talking about here. Along with that, there are a lot of subsidized care and preventive dentistry and all this that I've been talking about. You'll be able to give more thought to this concept if you are doing well. Also, it helps to bridge the urban-rural gap by sustaining mobile units and community tie-ups. You do all these sort of things, and that bridges that gap between the rural. And even though we are practicing in an urban area for whatever reasons, it doesn't mean we just have to stay here. We can reach out, we can help. And if you do well in your practice, it'll be easier for you too. Like, a lot of people, even though they're not doing well, they have that in them, and they personally help. But somebody who's doing well will easily be able to help. That's my point of view. So if you open your clinic tomorrow, how will you earn? What are your income sources? Next, how will you manage your expenses? Now let's look at an MCQ and a flashcard from this topic as well. Break-even point in dental practice is when A, profit is maximum, B, total revenue equals the cost, C, expenses are the highest, and D, income is zero. What is break-even? Try and decode that word. Answer is B, total revenue equals total cost. Where would you have heard of this word break even? Should I tell you? You might have heard it when you talk about movies. You talk about the collection having like first day collection was break even, and second day they landed into profits. So what does it mean? It means the cost that you have kept into this whole thing, this total cost that you have taken upon your head for your clinic and everything. After a certain amount of time that you do the treatments, you get that back. So if you've, say, invested like 10 lakhs in your clinic, it might take one person a year, it might take, this I'm talking about profits. So it might take somebody a year, it might take somebody 2 years for break even. That means that 10 lakhs covered costs. This is after your daily costs, right? So like, this is excluding your salary, your staff salary and everything. The profit that you're left with, when that equals to the revenue that you have kept on this project, that is break even. Examples of capital investment or fixed cost in dental practice. I said fixed, so you can easily guess this. Your clinic setup, the dental chairs, sterilization units, radiology, furniture, IT systems, everything that's not going to budge. Consumable, not your consumables, everything that's going to sit there and you're going to use on a daily basis. Not perishable or consumables. All right, that's it. Next, we will see in depth, in detail of some of these analysis and how do you do budgeting. And I've just spoken in lengths about the fact that budgeting is important, costing is important, you need to know your finances. But how do you do that? We'll talk in detail in the next video. See you there.